Alright, so I have a very inexpensive ultra airflow control atomizer here. This started off as a V9 from Fastech, which ran under $6 shipped. When it came, it had three tiny little holes, all the same size, so you had no air volume selection. It's kind of a pointless way that they had set it up. But the materials themselves, the machining on it, everything was really tight, good looking, solid. I was very impressed with the idea of it. They just needed a little help along the way. So I published an earlier video with simply taking the design that they were supposed to have been putting out. Still only a single air hole design, but you have three different options is the idea. Well, I decided I could one-up that. And I now have one with a 5 settings set up that is unique from the way that I had it set up previously. So let's just take a quick look here. Let's see if we get up and close around here. Here's the main control area, and right now it's set to that single hole, the one that's black. That's 1/16, and you'll see a whole series of holes along the edge. Now, none of the other ones are black. You'll notice none of the other ones pull through. This thing is actually machine tight enough that there's extremely little leakage anywhere except for exactly where you have a set of lined up holes. So, 1/16. Pretty average sort of a draw in modified hole world. Has some real nice resistance. Sorry about that. Has some nice resistance, but you know, people like variety. So there's the 1/16. Now if I just turn this one hole the other direction, the only direction I've turned it so far, what you'll see is that instead of the 16th being lined up, there's now a 5/32, or pardon me, 5/64 lined up. Alright, so we're still dealing with just a single air hole leaking any air. But a real nice, slightly airy draw. It's actually a place that I particularly like it. But maybe you want more than one coil in this setup. And that's where we got to get a little inventive and why there's such a pattern going around. I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it one more notch. Line up the next hole on this side. Let's lock this back in here. What you'll see is that there's another 5/64 hole there that you can see is blacked out right next to the one that we were just on. But now, if we rotate around directly across from it, there's a second 5/64 hole, a little bit lower down. If we dropped a second coil in there, we've got airflow right across it now. Much easier draw, and that actually works out really well with the setup that I've got here. So the V9 had a 3-post setup. People like to go quad coil with that. That's kind of the point of having 3 of them. So now if we take this, and rotate it to the next hole, see we have a little 16th there, but now we also have a 16th there, a 16th there, and a 16th there lining up. Got a 4-way 1/16 draw on this now. Now that's just getting to be some airy heaven. Alright, and finally, as you can probably guess, we've got one more round here. As I said, there's really 5 modes on this. If we look up one last time, I already rotated it there. Moved it from this guy up to this guy. So there's a 5/64, 5/64, 5/64, and 5/64. Could have a huge quad coil in here. Big, airy, massive draw on this motherfucker now. Pardon my French, but this thing is ready to cook like insanity. Should I say cook like me in the kitchen? Okay, and just to give you guys a little peek under the hood, here's the V9. Inside shield after the modifications. Notice one hole is higher, that's where the stock one came, and it also allowed for that little bit of overlap that you saw in the round around. Now underneath, once putting out all these clouds, one little lonely 2 ohm microcoil on the SVD maxed out. So, let's see, so the high hole also allows you to line up with a specific point for the first coil. Allows you to use the single coil, and when you snap it on, it lines up with the top row of holes to start. Anyways, so general opinions on the V9 from Fastech. Crazy good price. Is it worth buying? Absolutely not, unless you're planning on modifying it. If you're not going to modify it, the stock holes that come with it are just way too small. But if you've got even the gumption with a free drill to drill out the first 3 holes up to that 5/32 size, or 5/64, pardon me, this is an absolutely amazingly well done device that just needed a little help to achieve an amazing potential on it. I'm just going to crank this thing up one more time to the 5th level, and that's 4 5/64. This thing's awesome. And this is going out to Chris over at Tucson Vapors, and I hope you like it, man.